Hello, good evening to you. Happy Sunday. It is time for our Sunday spiritual service. Gosh, very much missed you last Sunday. It did feel like there was a real something missing about my Sunday evening. I don't know about everybody who's watching, but this is a real opportunity to reset, review the week, relax over the weekend, unwind, however you do that, and then set your intention, get yourself into the perfect spiritual mode for the week you've got coming ahead. For those of you that are new here and haven't been here before, welcome to the Light Christian Spiritualist Church, Weymouth. My name's Ashley and I'm going to be chairing this evening. And it is my absolute delight to welcome back the lovely Iain Mason. How are you doing, Iain?
I'm very well, Ashley. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Trust you're well. Had a lovely day, lovely weekend.
Fabulous. Thank you. It's such a joy to have you back, Iain. For those people that haven't seen it, Iain was over on my page on Friday evening, 6 till 7 every Friday. And Iain was my guest the Friday just gone. And do you know what? I can't even sum up in a sentence all that was covered because there was so much. We were in the peaks and in the troughs of the experience on the earth. Oh my goodness, there was so much there. So what I will do, if that's okay with you, Iain, I'll put the link at the bottom of this service for those people who haven't seen it, so you can go back and enjoy all of the goodness that is in that and the exercises and the discussion. It was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, to everybody who's here as well, just going to say a couple of hellos to everybody. Oh my goodness, all of the usual suspects are here. It's lovely to have you with us. Our virtual family, our virtual congregation who come by hook or by crook every Sunday. It's really good to have you with us. Hello to Nikki and Phil, amazing, lovely, lovely people. Hello to Shelley, to lovely Wendy. Hello, Wendy. To Nicola, to Shelley Gill. First time viewer, happy viewing, Shelley. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you. Hello to Tracy, to Susan, Linda Marie, lovely Jamie, Elise. Oh my goodness. Hello to everybody who's watching and to everyone who's watching on the replay. Hello. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to drop into our spiritual space, everybody. So this is something that we do where we light our candles. We come together as a virtual congregation. We just sink into that quiet space. So if you haven't already, please do go and grab your candle and we will be back in about 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to light our candles. So if everyone grabs their candle, and just as you're settling yourself into the space to light your candle, just reflect on your loved ones in the spirit world, your guides and helpers, and everyone who you know and love, the presence of the divine. I'd invite you now just to sink into that space. And as you light your candle with intention, just visualize this flame and the symbolism of the light, the symbolism of coming together and households all being linked through space and time, through this virtual network, all being linked together in the light, sending the light out, lighting a candle for somebody who may be remembering today, as we just settle into that space. You'll notice my lovely sunflowers behind me, certainly feeling very autumnal at the moment. Okay, Iain, we're ready. I'd like now to introduce Iain Mason once again, who's going to open our service for us, friends, with an opening prayer. Over to you, Iain.
Thank you, Ashley. Well, everyone, if I could just trouble you just to get comfortable, just take a breath in and out, just allow your soul to settle. And I'm going to invite you now to join with me as I ask you to close your eyes and just allow your gaze to soften and your eyes to shut. As we say, divine source, infinite creator, thank you for bringing us safely through this day, through each moment, through each now, where we extend our deep appreciation to all those seen and unseen, known and unknown, to the circumstances and whatever else made it possible for us to stand before you in the need of prayer, to surrender the choices, behaviors and actions we've been making and taking in each moment, and understanding that we need to surrender them to you, to stand aside and release them, so that we can move one step closer to you as we invite you to make that connection with us, passing through our mind, body, soul and spirit, settling in our heart where we acknowledge we are the love, the light, and the healing that you are. We are that we are. And as we come together, we ask that you guide us, that your most Holy Spirit comes for us, to us, and through us, changes our perceptions so we understand the right choices, behaviors, and actions we need to make and take in each moment, so that our values are in alignment with our purpose. As we ask you to guide our vibrational energy to align and become at one with the people, places, situations, and opportunities that are with us in each moment at their highest and best self, showing us the options that are here before us as you guide us on our way to the openings that we must walk through, where all you ask of us is to have the courage to trust your guidance, the pull to continue on our way, where we know we are continuing to go in the right direction for our purpose because we feel guided knowing you are walking by our side. And so we ask you to bring this or something better and manifest it into our reality right now, so we can fulfill and complete what we came here to do, share it with others, so we can all get better together for the good and great of everyone, as we ask you to watch over us and bring all that is required for this service tonight to do what it needs to do for those watching and those that are not. As we leave ourselves in your tender love and care and keeping, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
Amen. Wonderful. Thank you so much for such a beautiful prayer.
You're welcome.
Friends, we're now going to say the Lord's Prayer together. And so we say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Always a real power when you say that together. So thank you, everybody, for joining in with that. Wonderful. And Iain just took a beautiful breath. Yes.
Just to expand. Just to expand it, the energy.
Yeah. While we feel that. And your prayer was so evocative, Iain. You're so evocative of stepping into our purpose, or remembering our purpose as a lived experience. I'd like now to invite us all to use this moment in time, as we do every Sunday, to dedicate it to absent healing, which is so simple. And I know we spoke about this on Friday, and the technology, the modality of absent healing. So what I'd like Iain to do, if I may, Iain, could I ask you to invite people to very quickly to get to a space, and then I'll read out the healing prayer, and then we'll play some music for you to send your thoughts out. Would you be able to do that? I'm just being inspired on the breath, Iain. So are you able to do that for us?
Well, I really don't have many options now, do I? Gee, thanks, Ashley. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm mucking about. But we are raising the energy at the same time, in all seriousness. Joy raises your vibration, and that's actually quite important. So what I'm going to invite you to do, if you would please, is just to allow your gaze to soften. That's right, just allow your gaze to soften. Just allow your eyes to feel nice and relaxed. Feel all the muscles around your eyes, your cheeks, and your mouth, and your neck relax. And just allow your eyes to close. And just take that deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow a sigh. Just allow your soul to settle. Rest your hands. Feel all the tension falling away from you as you feel yourself joining a divine golden light. And I ask you just to sit in that divine golden light while Ashley does her thing, and just breathe that light in and breathe that light out. And I'm going to leave you there. Over to you, Ashley.
Thank you. And so we say, friends, as we come together, may you desire to be healed. May what is wounded in your life be restored to good health. May you be receptive to the ways in which healing needs to happen for you. May you take good care of yourself. May you extend compassion to all that hurts within your life, your body, and your soul. and may you be patient with the time that it takes to heal. May you be aware of the wonder of your body, mind, and spirit, and their ability to bring you back to good health. May you be open to receive from those who extend kindness, care, and compassion to you. May you rest peacefully under the sheltering wings of divine love and trust. May you find small moments of beauty and joy to sustain and uplift you. And may you keep hope alive always in your heart. Amen. And now we're going to listen to some music very shortly to send thoughts out to those people you know and those people you don't know. Amen, everybody. Thank you so much. Gosh, I'm doing what you said, Iain. I'm kind of checking in, and my goodness, the heat, the healing energy that's working.
Scanning. Yeah, my head's on fire. My head's on fire. No jokes about hair.
Wonderful. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, Iain, I'd like to hand back over to you the reading that you've chosen for us this evening, and then to be followed by your thoughts and reflections on it.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I actually have done my own reading for today, and actually it forms two quotes inspired by a song that was that found its way to me by my good friend Bev Mann, another talented medium. And the song was called "I'll Rise Up" by a lady called Andra Day, and the words are typically quite sort of invoking and very, very powerful. And they aligned with everything that we're going through right now, which is all transformation and how we do that. And the address that's going to follow the reading will pick up and sort of fill in the gaps for you. But the first quote, one that actually, I was going to say that I wrote, but one that was channeled to me, starts off quite nicely, because in order to transform, we need to have the freedom, we need to have the forgiveness to understand what we have to leave behind. So I'm just going to ask you just to empty your minds for me, be formless, be shapeless, and ready to receive this with an empty cup. It's called freedom. Freedom from fear, resentment, and hate releases our ability to love. Love is a feeling and an emotion that moves you and anything, anywhere, uniting and connecting souls in a way that is indescribable, with a bond that is unbreakable. Just think about that. You may recognize that as love conquers all. Because you see, from that, once we have done that release, and once we are familiar with the need to love ourselves and others, no matter what has been done to us, typically we have a prayer. We're asking for that direction with intention about which way to go. Way has a capital W because it's your purpose, you see. That's what that's all about. And so I would like to share this with you. When you send up that prayer, whatever it is for you, with the right intention, just say, may God bless you and light up every step of your way, so you never lose sight of the path you must follow from your heart. Okay, and that is my lovely little reading for you. So how do we put that into practice? What do we do with that? Well, you know what? to surrender, first of all, what we need to do is not to have any resistance. And that means we need to be able to live in each moment, passing through each moment. In other words, allowing it to pass through us without trying to hold on to it. Because you see, there's only experience in this living time that we enjoy here on the earth plane, each moment. And if you hold on to one thing, dig your heels in because you don't let it go, because it's what you call a good experience. Okay. And bizarrely, as nuts as this sounds, sometimes people want to hold on to the bad experiences because a lot of the influences around us, media, TV, etc., don't necessarily fill us with conscious thoughts and choices. They're quite unconscious, more, and all that stuff. But regardless, there's only experience. There's no good or bad. Otherwise, you create duality, you see. There's just experience. And if you stay where you are, it's literally like it piles up behind you, like the snow at winter time when it falls down very, very deeply. And so you feel the pressure of being uncomfortable. And the more you persist, the more you resist. And here's the thing, you start to feel resentful. Your mind takes over. It makes up stories about what will happen if you let go, but you'll be feeling unsettled in your soul. Your soul won't be happy. It's spiritual deprivation and soul bankruptcy if you don't allow yourselves to experience your experience, because what I'm suggesting, that's what living is. So you have to surrender for your own sanity's sake, pressures and body settling and happiness and ultimately your joy, to be able to fall into what we call happiness. But here's the thing, when we are able to accept each moment as it is, we effectively surrender. We don't have to consciously sit down and do a practice where we let go. When we accept each moment as it is, it's just an experience. We know it will come and we know it will pass. And if you fight it, all you'll give away is everything in and of yourself. And so you won't have all that you are to be able to serve yourself as you need to be, to deal with what's on the road for you. So in that true surrender, accepting each moment, each now as it is, it has no control over you. Now that creates a little gap for us. That allows us to have a choice to decide how we can move forward. It allows us the moment to respond by setting boundaries. In other words, understanding what is good for us and what is less good for us. In other words, where our energy vibration feels like it's in a harmony with it or a match with it, or less so. And it's okay to understand that what you don't feel is for you to decide not to stay there. But understand this, a decision to do nothing is still a decision. So why would you choose to stay somewhere that doesn't feel like it's in harmony with you? It's not a reflection on the people, but in that moment, they just might not be the right people for you to be around. And actually, conversely, it's not all about you. You might not be the right energy for them to have in their lives, because whatever this divine source is that works around us, works, as they say, in mysterious ways. But once you've got to grips with that, nothing has a control over you. So you allow yourself to get ready. You know, it's almost like scraping the leftovers off of your plate, washing the dish, and you're ready to receive, you know, what's next for you. Because you see, in that true surrender, we have no complaints whatsoever. We can love anyone and anything, no matter what. No reaction. It's fantastic. Because you see, if we don't, if we allow our plate to be full and we don't deal with our stuff, we get overwhelmed because we're not able to be in the moment experiencing what comes to us. We're trying to juggle everything that our mind is giving us and everything that's going on around us. In other words, our focus needs a focus. We need to refocus ourselves so we can see and allow ourselves to get going on the way that we need to go. Because there is no overwhelm. It is just the experience. So as you allow it to pass through you, so you are able to transform. How do you do that? Well, it was like the prayer said. What you do is you allow yourself to receive the new beliefs, because your cup is empty to be able to receive what's coming for you that previously you may not have been able to receive, or even prevented yourself from receiving. They're called choices, behaviors, and actions that you make and take in each moment with the right intention. With the right intention. Because if you do not, as the prayer says, your values and what you practice, where your attention goes and energy flows, is not in alignment with what you're here to do. So you will find that you're not able to discover what your purpose is. You'll be going, well, I don't know what one of those is. Is it? Is it in a fruit bowl? Is it, you know, it's nothing that you've lost. It's what you are. And all your actions, reactions, and emotions that you feel make you feel bad, or as I would say, are an inner alarm going off to remind you that you're not in harmony with what you're here to do. Because you see, when things are going well for you, like waking up on your birthday, everything's a blast and a breeze, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you walk down the stairs and tread on the kid's Lego, you just go, oh, blow, don't you? And you pull it out. Another day, the language might be slightly more blue in color. But you don't darken your day, do you, with the energy of bad intention? Your focus is good. Your headlights are up. You're looking forward. You're not looking down. You're not distracted. So when you focus your focus and allow yourself to be in that energy, so everything that you do will resonate with you like that. You won't almost allow anything negative to come in. So there's no effort required on your part to get on your way with a capital W, aka your purpose. Like I say, purpose isn't the place you go. Purpose is the place you live, the way you live. So it's nothing that isn't in you already. And so when you allow in that surrender, you know where you feel you need to go. Now, it might be something that you don't recognize. It might feel odd to you. It might bring a myriad of emotions and all sorts of experiences that go through you that are new for you, but that's okay. Because, you know, as Einstein says, you can't resolve a problem with the same mind that created them. So if you're not moving forward, hello, it's wake up time, surely. What have you got to lose? So when you allow, it's okay to give yourself permission to experience something that you haven't done before and feel how that goes with you. Close your eyes, just sit with it. Feel how that energy moves through you. Be aware where it hits the main energy points, the chakra points, the main 7 chakra points in your body. They will give you a guide as to what's working well with you, what's not, and what you need to pay attention to resolve and move forward and clear, so that you really have full power, full throttle to get going on your way. Why is that important? Because all the things that you're wishing that you're not getting are because you're not being the architect of your life. You hear that banded around, but this is how that works. In that openness, in that allowing, you know, in those new experiences, you realize what works for you and what doesn't. Michelangelo was once asked, when he chiseled a beautiful statue out of a lump of stone, how did you do that? How did you have the vision? You know, you've got nothing that you're copying here. You're not looking at anything. What happened? He said, I allowed myself to feel the statue that was hiding inside the stone. And all I did was I chiseled away the excess stone. And that's what I'm suggesting happens to you when you allow. And so you can be the architect of your life. There's a lovely method, because I love to give tools to help people. Tools are practical, tools help people. Ashley's a big advocate of this, I know, in her spiritual practice. It's a gift I would love to leave you with this evening, courtesy of what was brought to my attention through Mind Valley, because it's important to credit where we get our source information from. And this is called the Silver Method, created by a guy called Jose Silva. He's a Mexican guy. He's long since left the physical, you understand, but he's with us in spirit. And very, very quickly, I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes for me. Okay, so just relax and just imagine in your mind's eye and bring into your mind and even into your heart, if that works better for you. Okay, a situation where you felt either maybe you weren't your best self, or you felt you could have contributed, or it could have worked out better than it did. And just allow that to come into your mind's eye and just see what's going on. And we're going to call that scene 1. Now just swipe left so you go into scene 2. And just see with your intention, with the love from your heart, everything that you know that you want to do to contribute to make that situation as best you can. We're not relying on anybody else or anything else, and we're not worried about any perceived power that has over us. We just really want to do our best in that situation. And that intention being true in and of our heart that we send into that situation, just visualize in scene 2, things starting to move. Visualize things getting better. Feel the emotions in your body feeling a little lighter as we swipe to screen 3, and just visualize the outcome of what you wish that situation to be as it needs to be for the good and great of everyone, so we can all get better together. And just take a breath in and out for me and allow your eyes to open. And what I've shared with you there is a very basic intention exercise as I see it, a little tool that you can do where you can take on board everything that I've shared with you so far in both the reading and in the address, wrap it all up and use it as a tool to help you on your way. And when you're true of your heart, when you feel it, it's the affirmation given to you before that you know you're on the right way. Why is that important? Because when you allow yourself to be guided and you get that same feeling when you do your prayers, then you know, okay, I've got a benchmark to something I felt before, that I know it's okay to take this next step. Because sometimes it's scary to take that first step. So sometimes we need desperation to have our inspiration. Sometimes we need motivation to give us inspiration. And sometimes we need others to believe in us so we can start believing in ourselves. So just hold on to that. I hope that resonates with you. And I leave my love with all of you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. My goodness, thank you. As ever, Iain, you have just a beautiful way of wrapping up really practical things that we can use. As well as wrapping up in your years of experience working with lots of people and your spiritual
and my mentors, my mentors and guides that work with me, however and wherever they find their way to me. We have to acknowledge them because they're relevant as well, including everyone that we meet, even in you guys.
Thank you. Goodness, yeah, we learn so much from the people that we meet on our journey as mirrors and teachers, everyone you meet. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. My goodness, that was resonating with so many people saying thank you, Iain, for your words and your work with them. And I just want to acknowledge some of the beautiful people that are on here. Shelley, who's her first time here with us this evening, and she just wanted to bring in the sunflowers as a memory link with her son. And isn't this the genius of the spirit world? How actually it's the messages within messages sometimes, and really benefited from that. So thank you. Super. So if you really enjoyed everything that Iain did with you there, that's definitely one for you to take home and practice at home. I just wanted to come back to a point that you made, and it was beautiful how you did it. And I now know you're kind of, to me, it's all about the quotes with you and the one-liners, which are just beautiful because they stick, don't they? They become very sticky. You talked about motivation coming from desperation and inspiration coming from motivation, and that sequence. Would you have any advice right now for somebody who is in a real state of flux and is resonating with what you're talking about? Have you got any more to kind of speak to about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would suggest that you sit quietly. Lay quietly. I mean, I don't do meditating or what I call connecting, sitting, which every great sort of teacher and speaker normally suggests you do, so your spine is straight. I tried it, doesn't work for me. So first thing is always have faith in what you're comfortable doing. That's the first message, and whether that's an action or whatever you're doing in daily life. Now, if you feel that there's some movement for you to do because you're feeling stuck, or whatever stuck might be for you, or you've got a boggle with a boggle, I would invite you to lay down, and just lay down, say on a bed or wherever, with your palms up, and just close your eyes and just breathe deeply. And forgive yourself. And I would use a technique that I have where I place my left hand on my heart and I just rub my hand around clockwise, telling myself these words: I love you, I love you, I love you. And then I pat myself and say, it's okay, it's okay. It's just a way to get your soul to settle. And what happens is your feet start to dance to the beat of your heart when you do this, because you resonate and become in alignment with everything that's going on with you. Now, even if that is less good, as we say, than good for you, for whatever's going on, you will be aware and in tune with the energy that's moving around in your body. You'll feel areas that are lighter for you and areas that are darker for you, because the one thing you mustn't do is lie to yourself. Sometimes when I'm working, people say to me, are you all right? And I go, yeah, somebody's talking to me. It's not, it's an alter ego. It's another part of my personality, a mind speaker, okay, a mind speaker. It's not true communication or channeled information. So don't lie to yourself, which is why it's important to get out of your own way. And when you lie quietly, you will feel what's going on for you. And if you just say the words, so supposing work is okay, so you say work, and you just feel whether there's any change of energy or movement of the energy around you. Now, if you're having trouble with another half, I mean, that never happens, right? Okay. But let's just suppose that in this make-believe world, it did. And you said, my relationship with X. And just notice if your energy changes. Notice if you feel instantly heavier or lighter. Notice where you feel instantly heavier or lighter. And then what I would say is when you're aware of what feels heavier for you, you effectively, like kinesiology, find the hotspots for you that work and align with and link with the energy of the situation that is causing you a little bit of discomfort, disease. And then what I would suggest that you do is, knowing that that is more present for you than any other experience that you're feeling or that's resonating with you, I invite you to consider that you're sitting in this darkness in a chair. And when you're sitting in this darkness in a chair, I would say to you, okay, you look around and understand it's not where you want to be. Well, you can't see anything, can you? So you don't know which way to go to move forward. And just get up out of that chair and walk forward into an area that's light for you. And just to breathe in that light, breathe it in, breathe it out. Just know where you feel good. Just allow that energy to pass through your body, and it will effectively start to dissolve any pain or disease that you're suffering. And if it doesn't do it completely, and I'm not talking about major illnesses here, you'll feel a little lighter about it. And the point is depending on how well that works with you, what it will do is it will just create a little moment where, you know, when you practice that, it can grow bigger and bigger and bigger and give you a greater and greater space to realize that you have the capacity to receive or allow yourself to do the guidance that's coming for you, or to make another decision that will at least move you forward and better yourself from where you are. So you create your own inspiration, you create your own motivation, and what you don't do is hold yourself in desperation.
Wonderful. Goodness, thank you so much. Powerful stuff. Powerful, working on so many levels there. Lots of layers to that. Thank you. And beautiful depth.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. So I was going to ask where you get your inspiration, because you write so beautifully, and when you're speaking, I can see the power with you. I can see the power with you. So do you pray? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you pray? Would you call that praying? Do you ask, or does it kind of come when you get your energy to a certain level? I'm really fascinated how it actually works for you, because it's so effortless.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's asking me to share my wares, isn't she? But you know, I'll go. Yes. But it's all good, right? So again, a little gift for you. Some people talk about being in the power, sitting in the power, saying a prayer, or, you know, a plea almost. A prayer can sometimes form, you know, desperation, a plea. You know, maybe if there was a bad act. Somebody once said prayer isn't always, you know, kneeling on a cushion in the aisle in a place of worship. You know, somebody described it as if you were sucked into the river and there was a boat coming with a big old propeller. You know, you just be going, oh golly, please help me, whatever the divine source is for you. So, you know, it's important that we understand that actually what it is that we're trying to connect with, that we're asking to help us, is in fact what we are. My suggestion is that if you want to use the word God, we are all a piece of God, and therefore by default God is a piece of us. So we are one giant jigsaw where we all come together and do the same picture. And I mentioned this on Friday. So you already know where you fit. You've already got that. So you already know that when you're in that right place, you feel that woof, like that feeling that you're like on top of the world, right? That's when you're in alignment with your values and you're on purpose and on your way, because everything works out. What I'm suggesting is that energy that you feel, that woohoo, that tingle, the butterflies in the tummy when you meet the partner that's going to become the husband and wife or whatever of your dreams, and all of these things. When you feel that, understand that actually that's not a place you have to go, that's what you are. So you allow yourself to feel that in each moment. The point here is, and I apologize for the detour to get here, that if you're not feeling that joy in each moment, then you ain't in the right place. So it's practicing holding yourselves in that energy, because that's where all your inspiration comes, as we talked about in the address. We touched on in the reading, you know, and that's why we need and we ask for our paths to be lit up for us, so we never lose sight of the way we know we must follow in our heart, because that's what we're here to do. That's why it feels so good when we have that resonance. So when you do anything, you know, sometimes I go to the gym and I might wake up thinking, I want to run. I want to run for England today. I'm going to run hours run, no sweat. I actually stand in front of the treadmill and I say, is running for me today? And if I feel my energy wobble or change, I go, okay, all right. So if it feels good for me, I do it. If it doesn't feel good to me, what I do is I ask, what's next for me? What do I need? Because I'm asking for my way with the intention for what I need, not what I want. Okay.
Wow.
And this is a key point for manifesting your life, or what I would say is manifesting schmanifesting. It's about being the architect of your dreams, putting a right intention and alignment together with the right energy. And when it all comes together, boom, that's when that dynamite goes off. So that's what we feel. So you always are where you need to be, unless and until you allow yourselves to be taken off course. And that's when your emotions kick in to let you know that, and everything else. So always be aware of who you are. And if you're lost, to find your way, all you've got to do is stop and ask someone. But the point of what you connect with there is your higher self. Sometimes the unconsciousness of the human factor, not the X factor, the human factor, okay, can take us off on a merry, you know, whatever the word is, a merry dance. You know, like I think I need a tube of Pringles every day, one cocktail. But my body doesn't want that. And if I ingest that stuff, you know what? It's not going to be ultimately to my advantage and fulfill what my body needs in the balance of nutrition. So I'm not necessarily always going to make the best choices for ourselves. And sometimes when life gets in our way, and life does do that, life catches you on the blind side, you know what? You can get caught up with it, and that's okay to forgive yourself. But when you just take a breath, just if you just close your eyes when all chaos is kicking off around you, just breathe in and out, give yourself that space, and you can just say, what do I need? And it keeps you in the power. In other words, in alignment with the divine source that is always speaking to you, and you are speaking to as well. Like Morse code in the war, you know, headquarters is speaking to you and you're communicating back. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So you just need to stay in resonance of what feels right for you. And you'll feel it. You'll know. You can't lie to yourself unless you allow yourself to take yourself off on a wild goose chase.
I know I said this before to you, Iain, but whenever you answer a question, I always have a million other things that come up for me, which is wonderful. So you're definitely firing up my inspirational energy, which I love. I love it. I love it. So for you, every moment is a sacred moment because you're in that constant dialogue when you're in that power. So for you, it's a constant thing. And I completely take on board that actually for some people, for some circumstances, it may require total desperation, you know, being in the river with the boat coming to actually pray. And we've all heard people that talk of miraculous things that happen. And whether that is the intervention of God performing a miracle, or whether that's that person elevating their energy to be in alignment and saying, what is next for me? Wonderful. What an insight.
Or they wouldn't get it any other way without a shock. Now, I'm not suggesting that we need bad circumstance to do that. But sometimes, you know what, we can have an awful lot of stuff going on. It might be trauma and overwhelm. That's a deadly cocktail, you know, and there might be a situation where unless something moves you, it might be very difficult for you to move through when you feel almost the weight of the world is leaning on top of you and you can't breathe. So, you know, sometimes, you know, we find healing in the most bizarre of circumstances. But don't worry what the circumstance is and if it doesn't fit your ideal of the help that you want.
Yeah. Wow. Again, it's just an example of us putting conditions on things. We're very good
Yes.
at doing that, aren't we? In our human conscious brain of putting conditions and labels on it.
Or unconsciousness.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Unconsciousness. Yeah.
Because we're not conscious. We're not allowing.
Gosh, a lot there. Thank you. That was wonderful. And I appreciate your very beautiful way of putting things. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My goodness, everyone is so enjoying your words this evening. And, you know, I was talking to Iain about this. And when I first kind of, you know, had started these discussions with Iain to say, would you come on to a Friday evening? Would you come and do a divine service? And you know what, for everybody who's watching this, there was a real gamble. There was a real leap of faith to say to the spirit world, we'd like to do our Sunday services online, but actually we're feeling the real calling from the spirit world, from my sense of inner knowing, to say that this is really important stuff. That actually talking about spiritual philosophy, our underpinning, bringing in knowledge from various different sources. I mean, Iain's credited at least 4 or 5 different spiritual teachers that he's encountered on his pathway. Is really important at this time. And there are so many churches in this country, internationally, spiritual people all over the globe that are doing what they can. But for us in our very small corner of the internet, of Facebook, for us, it's about this spiritual knowledge and trying to pass it on and share it on. So for that, Iain, I thank you very much for all of the work that you've done this weekend.
You're
wonderful.
very, very welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for everybody that's joined this evening and has really resonated with it. Paula is loving the idea of the giant jigsaw. That's something that's really lodged with her. She really enjoys that. So thank you. And thank you to Shelley, who's acknowledging that everything you were saying was resonating so much. And people, again, the messages within the messages. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And lovely Sue, who actually went on a Jose Silva course a long time ago. So she brought back a lovely memory for her. Wonderful. Good. Thank you.
Good. And harness that energy, you know, feel that. Maybe that might be some fuel for some motivation for you to make a change. Who knows?
Wonderful. Thank you. You heard it. You heard it, Sue. Sue was well into it, adopting and stepping forward with bravery and courage. Okay. So for everybody we normally have 45 minutes. It's gone as ever really, really quickly. So Iain, thank you so much for your efforts Friday evening and for tonight. But for now, would you like to please close our service with a closing prayer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you very much. So everybody, first of all, can I just ask you just to allow your gaze to soften, just feel the muscles in your face relaxing around your eyes, around your nose, your mouth, around your neck and shoulders. Just let your hands fall where they need to, as is right for you. As we say, Divine Source, Infinite Creator, thank you for bringing through everything that was required to reach those that it needed to reach tonight, to give us the guidance, to help us on our way, so that we realize our purpose and get busy going with it, to allow you to do what you've been doing for us all along, but to open ourselves up to receiving it more so now than ever in this era where we know our new normal requires transformation of us beyond anything that we think and we can imagine ourselves. And so as we all walk together, we ask that you send down the blessing upon us all, always guiding us to our next best space and place in each moment. So you will always find us where you know we need to be, as we ask you to please find your will behind the meaning of the purpose of whatever you intended and created us to do, to fulfill thy will on earth as is done in heaven. So it be, and so it is, as we leave ourselves in your tender loving care and keeping, as we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love your prayers.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Iain, thank you so much for being with us. It's been an absolute joy to have you take our service. Thank you for everybody who joins us week in, week out. It's such a blessing to have you with us, and you're the reason why we keep going every single week, because of the spreading that light out there. Stay safe during this week. Be gentle and kind with yourselves. Stay in the light. Follow some of Iain's lovely tips about staying in your alignment and just checking with your energy. And we will see you next Sunday at 6:15. Till that time, have a lovely week, everybody. Take care. Bye. Bye.